Hello, this is Angela Herring, Liberty University School of Education student, and today I'm going to be speaking about professional development modules connected with instructional design. The overview contains instructional design, professional development, and the two models I'm going to be looking at are the Addy model and the Kirkpatrick model. So instructional design. As educators and others working within the educational field, many of us may hear the term instructional design or instructional designer, instruction design, curriculum builders, things of that nature. So what is instructional design? Well, simply put, instructional design is the creation of instructional materials. Even though this field goes beyond simply creating teaching materials, it carefully considers how students learn and what materials and methods will most effectively help individuals achieve their academic goals. So it's taking piece by piece, you're planning what kind of lessons you're going to put in and what knowledge and content you're going to put into each section, course, lesson, whatever you're breaking it down to, program. You plan, you build, and then you implement, and then you come back and do an assessment. So where did instructional design come from? So many say the foundation for instructional design was laid out during World War II, when hundreds of thousands needed to be taught very specific tasks in a short amount of time. Individual aspects of these complex tasks were broken down so soldiers could better understand and comprehend each step of the process. This approach was later taken and built upon, leading to the development of instructional design, a field of study that kind of marries and connects education, philosophy, and communications to create the most effective teaching plans for specific groups of students or your audience, whoever you're trying to teach. This is vital because it ensures that students receive instructions in a form that is effective and meaningful to them, and helping them better understand the topics and concepts being taught. Now, here are the 7 characteristics of instructional design. Instructional design should be student-centered process. You should be focusing on who your audience is, who your students are, what works best for them. The second one is goal-oriented process. You should have a goal or an outcome that you're trying to achieve when you're building your instructions. Number 3 is the creative process. It shouldn't be dull. It should be fun. It should be creative. Think outside of the box. Number 4 is focuses on meaningful expressions. Pick things that, maybe your students are going to have connections to, or it's meaningful to them, but goes along with your content and lessons that they do need to learn. Number 5 is assumes outcomes are measurable, dependable, and effective. So when you're doing the instructional design, you need to have something that you can measure and that is going to be an effective source. Number 6 is experimental, iterative, and self-correcting process. Number 7, team effort is needed. So you can't really do this alone. When you're putting your instructional design and your content together, it's going to take a variety of individuals doing such things. Next, we're going to talk about professional development. So what is professional development? Well, simply put, in basic, it's just improving yourself through learning and training to kind of advance you in your career. You're going to focus on some kind of lesson in professional development sessions that connect to your industry, what your specialty is, and it's just growing in those concepts and that knowledge and advancing along with all the evolving advancements as the years go on. Many times companies may offer training. I know a lot of schools and school districts and things like that, educators are able to take training sessions together or individually to further, provide that information needed for their teachers or employees. But an employee typically works on their own usually with professional development. It's an independent type thing. There are many ways that an employee can work on their professional development, such as taking classes, you can go to workshops, or you could just teach yourself some new skills. Then why is professional development important? So professional development is important because it can make you a better educator, a better person, a better employee. This could help you receive more opportunities for career advancement, such as, promotions or bonuses, things of that nature. Professional development can make you a more desirable candidate because of the knowledge and level of expertise you have in that field. Some of the benefits of professional development are improves confidence, enhances hiring potential or your job position. You develop new skills. You increase job opportunities. You can expand your networking opportunities. You can, reach out to numerous people maybe you wouldn't have thought about reaching out before to. And it provides mentorship. Now, there are some ways to improve professional development as we are speaking about how it connects to instructional design and how to create a professional development plan. 4 ways to improve it: create a schedule of goals, coming up with a schedule of how long each session should be and the goals. That's a good way of keeping things in a time limit and not just losing where you're at. Attend training programs, taking advantage of receiving your own professional development to create professional development plan. Take new roles or responsibilities and continue your own education. Now, the theories of professional development, like I said, we're going to speak about are the ADDIE model and the Kirkpatrick model. So the ADDIE model is a generic process traditionally used by instructional designers and training developers. There are 5 phases, which are right here on this chart or image graphic. It starts with A, which is analyze, D, design, D, develop, I, implementation, and E, evaluation. And so the ADDIE model is an instructional systems design model. And most of the current instructional design models are kind of spin-offs of this. So, like I was saying, the current or new instructional design models are usually a variation of the ADDIE model. Let's go through the phases. So I'm going to go back to the previous slide. So analyze your situation to understand the gaps you need to fill. You need to figure out what instructional goals and objectives are established, figure those out in the learning environment, and the learner's existing knowledge and skills should be identified and kind of figure out what is needing to be taught or known. The next one is design phase. The design phase kind of deals with learning objectives, assessment instructions, exercises, content, subject matter, lesson planning, and media selection. The design phase should be systematic and specific. Next is the development phase. The development phase is where the developers create and assemble the content assets that were created in the design phase. Usually programmers work to develop and integrate technologies into this step. Next is the implementation phase. During the implementation phase, a procedure for training the facilitators and the learners is developed. The facilitator's training should cover the course curriculum, learning outcomes, method of delivery, and testing procedures. Preparation of the learners include training them on new tools, such as software, hardware, and student registration. And then the final phase is your evaluation or assessment phase. It usually consists of 2 parts, the formative and summative. A formative evaluation is presented in each stage of the ADDIE process. Summative evaluation consists of tests designed for domain-specific criteria-related referenced items and providing opportunities for feedback from the users that took part in your instructional design program or your professional development plan. This model, the ADDIE model, is proven and tested method for creating and designing effective training and courses. It's used by developers, educators, trainers, and so forth. Best to use for learners. Is widely and commonly used. The Kirkpatrick model. This is established in 1959. Most recognized method of evaluating the effectiveness of instruction programs. So Donald Kirkpatrick developed the Kirkpatrick evaluation model for evaluating training during the 1950s. The model was initially published in a trade journal and later in Kirkpatrick's 1975 book. The Kirkpatrick model contains 4 levels of evaluation. First is reaction, the feedback from the learner once they typically like questions concerning the degree to which the experience was valuable, whether they felt engaged, whether they felt the training was relevant. Next is learning. The outcome being to determine what the learners gained and was information effective. The next one is behavior. Taking content from the program and utilizing it in real life situations from the learner's view. And results. All outcomes and impact the lesson had on the learner. Also, take the time to look at direct results. So educators benefit from professional development. We all actually, it doesn't matter if you're an educator or not, anybody in any industry will benefit from a professional development program. Technology in the classroom is evolving and changing, so it's something that is needed. We need to continue doing our training. Professional development can bring positive influence in educator friendships. And professional development can boost educators' confidence concerning their work and the area they're in. Here's my reference page concerning the information that I have talked about today and the information that was provided. Thank you.